Hello, my name's Dr. Kirsten Hunter and welcome to Psych in Your Car. I'm a clinical psychologist with 20 years experience and I just occasionally stop on the way to work and just do a quick recording on a clinical area. I've authored a series of psychology books called Signposts for Living. Can you see them? A bit glary. Signposts for Living. And they cover the expanse of clinical areas, literally everything I could possibly think of that we cover in session, and so I'm just picking one to talk about today. So today we're going to talk about depression. A lot of people think they know what depression is, but I find out pretty quickly in session they don't necessarily understand it to enough of a depth or the essence of depression. And 40% of the population experience depression at some point in their lives. So it's such an incredibly important area that you yourself might experience and definitely loved ones around you will. I personally experienced 6 months of depressive mood when I was 24, I think, somewhere around that. And I think that's a really good thing. I think that, you can't necessarily understand depression unless you've had it. Same with anxiety, same with a whole host of other issues. Haven't had depression since then, despite life's hurdles, so that's a good thing. What is depression? So first of all, depression is when you are in an episode of this depressed mood state, which I'm about to explain. It doesn't mean you have major depressive disorder. Major depressive disorder is if it sticks around for 6 months onwards and then continues, and it has to have a clinically significant impact on your life as well. So depression is a natural human state. It is when we are feeling, when we have the mindset and we are feeling that we are hopeless and we are helpless. So that means that with regard to our future, we feel hopeless about that, and we call that learnt hopelessness. So that's pretty depressing. And also helplessness. It's when we feel like our hands are tied and we're not able to move through our dark hole that we feel that we're in. So learned helplessness. So hopelessness and helplessness is synonymous with depression. The thing about depression that people don't understand is it's a physiological state. So if you think about it, if you had some extraordinary news, fantastic news, something about family, friends, success, winning the lotto, whatever, we become elated. We literally get whoosh, this wonderful exhilaration of energy through us. Well, if you take that in reverse, that's depression. Depression is when we feel like the plug has been pulled out and all of our mojo, all of our energy, all of our motivation and our pleasure and our enjoyment in things goes down the sink. And it's a very altered state. We call that behavioral deactivation. So I get frustrated when people say to someone who's depressed, just get out of bed, just get moving, just get into the day, and it is true that to get moving and have routine and that level of self-care is actually a really good way to help us get out of depressed state, but it's not easy to do. It's extremely difficult to do when you're depressed. So when I get out of bed, it takes approximately 2% energy for me. I get out of bed pretty happy. When someone's depressed, it might take a 90% energy. It's a big job to get in and have a shower, to get dressed, to prepare nutritional food, to do housework, to pay the bills. To do all of those things takes a lot of energy that they don't have because their body is in a depressed state. And it's interesting if you think about it back in the evolutionary time, back in the caveman time, it would have been a clever way of communicating to the tribe that we're depressed. We would have curled up, wanting to curl up under a tree, under a rock, and it would have communicated to the tribe, hey, this person's not traveling well, how about we go and look after them? So that is depression. It is a very real physical state. When people say, some people say, I don't believe in mental health, I don't believe in depression, and then they go on and tell me about when they don't have energy, motivation, they don't have pleasure in things, they don't have meaning in things, they feel helpless, they feel really low and hopeless about the future, and they describe depression. So that's what depression is. And it's really important that we understand it. It's really important we have empathy for that. The next recording I'm going to talk about what to do what to do with regard to our loved ones, how to help them, and inherent to that is really talking about what's good for ourselves as well when we're feeling depressed. It's not common sense. You do need support and you do need help. It's very hard to get out of a depressive state. Sometimes people are depressed because life is really at a difficult spot. They're in a corner and they're trapped. And obviously, if that situation changes, that can also really help launch them out of a depression. But often depression isn't to do with life crises. Often it's very much to do with our relationship with ourselves, our self-talk, our perception of things. So depression is a really tricky creature, and it's really important that we respect it and that we get into the trenches with that person and support them to come through, which we can come through. So everybody, if you want to catch me, I've got a website, and on that website there's a whole lot of free resources. So there's obviously More Psych in Your Car, there's podcasts, there's a boot camp, there's newsletters, there's blogs, blah blah blah, lots of stuff. So jump on if you want. The website is KirstenHunterAuthor.com. The Facebook page and Instagram handle is Kirsten Hunter Author. Twitter, Kirsten Hunter AU. And also podcasts, Signposts for Living with Dr. Kirsten Hunter. And all of this is on these books, which can you see them? There you are. There's 6 books. The first one is Control Your Consciousness. The second is Understanding Myself. Then we've got State of Flow, Mindfulness and State of Flow. Then we've got Understanding Others. The 5th one is Parenting. Been asked to write that for 15 years. And the last one is called Nailing Being an Adult, a masterclass in being an adult. So psychology to you, which is what I'm very excited about. So thanks. Take care.